Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video we're going to have a Retribution Paladin guide for the horrific vision of Stormwind. I'll be doing this week 1, so we do not have full upgrades yet. I don't even have my attribute things finished out yet. We're going to go over my route, some tips and tricks, so, like when to use bubble, things like that, right? 4 rep Paladins. We can quickly go over the talents as well at some point, just kind of the idea of talents. There's no one set talent build for this. I'm going to assume you're doing it solo. If you're doing it with a group, you can kind of modify things, of course, that fit your group. But I'm going to be talking mostly about how to do this solo. So first things first, let's talk about this room once you enter the horrific vision. We have this little bronze hourglass. This is going to be like a little helper, like Bran from the Delves. Unless you are extremely undergeared, I'd recommend not using this because it's going to increase the health of the mobs pretty dramatically. So unless you are extremely undergeared, I think you should just go in here without the little helper on. If you're going to have it on, I don't know, maybe as damage. If you're super undergeared, maybe as a tank. But I would recommend not using it and at least trying to learn how to do it without using it. We have masks around the room and we have little tribute things. Let's do the masks first. We are going to be doing this practice run with a mask on so I can show you everything. Let's quickly go over these masks. You can unlock 5 of them the first week. If you're watching this first week as I load the video, you can unlock 5 of them, and you can also get part of the way done with the Nemesis one right here. You need to kill Hogger. We'll show you where Hogger is when we get into the vision. So the ones you can unlock in Stormwind are Long Night. You can unlock this one in Orgrimmar as well. This is just completing the entire vision with completing the final boss and the 4 side bosses. And then you unlock Long Night. This is the first one that you'll unlock, basically. And then with that one on, because you need to have a mask active to unlock the other ones, right? So you will have to put this one on. For first week, Long Night's probably the hardest one. It cuts your sanity in half, so it dramatically reduces the time you have to complete it. And because we're only on week 1, we don't have all the unlocks that are time gated. It makes it very difficult especially once you start combining them. So with Long Night on, you then need to do these other ones, or well, one other one, and then you can switch from Long Night to another one, right? So Vengeance, you're just going to kill these guys worshiping a mask in Stormwind. It's kind of between Old Town and Trade, I believe, and I'll show you where that's at. With a mask on, so let's say you have Long Night on, you kill those guys, you complete the vision, and then you'll unlock this one. This one's basically going to cause mobs to enrage when you kill a mob. The mobs near them will kind of gain power, so kind of like a mini, not bolstering, I want to say, but a mini enrage, I guess. Over here, we have Mask of Dark Imagination. Dark Imagination is Mage Quarter with a mask on, so you got to kill Magister Umbric, which is the leader of the Mage Quarter, with a mask on, and that'll unlock this one. And what this one does is at under 50% sanity, your sanity bar, you can see down here at the bottom of my screen. When that's under 50%, a mob will spawn basically, and then you have to deal with that mob. Just kind of like a medium-sized mob. Then we have Multitudes. To unlock Multitudes, you need to defeat almost all the enemies. From my guess right now, I don't know for sure. It's almost like a count in Mythic Plus. You have to reach 100% count. Because I've read accounts of people defeating different types of enemies inside the vision. And so I don't know exactly what the count is or whatever, but basically just kill everything you can that's not optional. So in Stormwind, the little guy who walks around the Canal District, if you've ever fought him, you'll know he's very, very hard. He is optional. You do not have to kill him in order to unlock this mask, but basically kill everything you can. Go left, go right, kill everything you can, and you'll unlock the Multitudes one. I didn't do anything special. I just killed every mob basically that I saw. Then we have Pained. This is the one I'm going to be doing it on. What this does is it gives you 2 affixes instead of 1. I'm going to be doing it with this one on just so I can show you more of the affixes at once rather than just one at once. And I can mention the third one that's not active as well, but this will help me show you it. So for this one, it is, I believe, the Old Town one. So yeah, you have to defeat Old Town with a mask active, and you'll unlock that one. We mentioned Nemesis. We're going to kill Hogger, and that'll give you the shard you need. You need to physically loot his body. Everything else in here, you don't loot the body, basically. But for this, you need to physically loot the body. So those are the masks that are relevant to Stormwind. Again, we're going to be doing it with one on. Let's go ahead and turn Pained on. There we go. And then let's do the tributes real quick. Tribute of Clear Sight. This allows you to see the stuff in the dungeon or in the horrific vision that's hidden. So you see they're literally chests on the floor. That's what one thing you'll be able to see is these. Also lets you see the potions, and you fill this bar up by clicking on those things in the vision. So if you unlock the chest, click on the chest. If you unlock the potions, click on the potions. The crystals are not unlocked yet, so I can't really show you those. Those are only for more of the currency anyways, the mementos or whatever. So I do not have those unlocked. I assume those unlock at maybe 100% or something, maybe 75%. I'm not sure. But these are potions. Potions are very important. Once you unlock those, you'll want to be interacting with the potions. We have destabilization. This is from killing bosses. This will give you a pretty sizable buff as you power this up. We're on level 2, and then that'll give you just a big buff. It's a defensive when you're at low health. This is just from killing mobs in general. That's the one that I have 100%ed already. This one gives you haste and speed when you kill mobs. And then here we have Elite Extermination, probably the most important one, almost at the final level of this. This gives you Sanity. Gives you back some of your sanity when you kill an elite mob. So it makes killing elite mobs extremely advantageous. I believe that goes up to 150. So I believe right now I'm at 100. So it's 50 for level 1, 100 for level 2, 150 for level 3. This is very important. Kill all the elites when you do this, just so you can have this unlocked to level 3. So we'll go ahead and get started with the vision. Like I said, we'll kind of take you through my route and kind of just go through, you know, everything that I do. So we're going to open the portal. And our first pull, we're going to pull all the way to where we need to see the potions. If you don't have potions unlocked yet, that's okay. Right here, you're going to have an extra action bar. That's what we're going to use when our sanity is getting really low. This is the first talent in the talent tree. All right, so we're going to go through. What I normally like to do is I'm going to hit these things on my way, but I'm going to pull all of this together. Now, with masks on, I did a little interrupt on that guy. With masks on, this is a little bit harder to do. These things are going to have a lot more health, right? You might even need to use cooldowns here if you have to. Go ahead and do that. You also don't have to pull this all together. We're going to loot the chest. We're going to see right here next to a dead body and a note, a red potion. That means that red potion is bad. That means you can safely take any other potion, but certain potion in particular is going to be really advantageous for you. It means when it's the red one, it's going to be blue. So blue is going to literally give us sanity back. If it's purple, I'll put this list in the description below, but if that's purple, then the really good one's black. If it's black, the really good one is green. If it's green, the really good one is red. And if it's blue, the really good one is purple. And again, I'll put those in the description below, but for the purposes of this, while I could drink every potion, and that would help fill up my tribute chest, since I'm doing this I need to kind of move a little bit quickly here for us in this demonstration. So we're just going to be focusing on the blue ones. My next pull are these two guards here. They're going to have a cast that will want to, and a frontal. So there's Shadow Shift, the cast. We're going to kill them before they get that off. So they have a frontal and an interrupt. And if they're both casting, you can interrupt one and Hammer of Justice the other one. We then go over here to do this pull. Just a bunch of little guys here. These guys aren't too bad. And we're looking for blue, so let's just blue potion here. Again, once you have these unlocked, and that's going to just give me some sanity. It makes the run a little bit smoother. We're then going to come up here. Up here will just give us a buff. This is optional unless you're trying to unlock by killing everything. You might need to do this. And then we're just going to kill everything that spawns in here, and stuff just keeps spawning. Sometimes it can be a little bit tough targeting this stuff. Honestly, if you have to, just run out of the room and they'll follow you out. You can do that. And we're going to kill this. Again, there's potions here. We want blue. We don't want red. I'm going to come out here. Kill these little tumors here on the ground. For this, usually especially if you have enough masks on, usually this will be up here. Your wings will be up, I mean. And you can use it on those. Tumors. We didn't even go over the effects. So before we go into the next one, let's talk about this. So in this first room, we had Madness, Bloodthirsty, and Promise Power. Promise Power is this little circle on the ground. That's going to give us a buff if we're in it, and we get a debuff if we're not in it, unfortunately. This is really hard to play around as melee. In fact, Stormwind in general is hard for melee. And then this orange circle just does damage and heals us for some of that damage done. There's no curse on that. And then there's another one called Desynchronized that it's kind of like a mini Bloodlust or a mini Haste minus randomly. So kind of a Kiss Curse again. When we come in here, we have Dark Delusions and Scorched Feet. So Scorched Feet is going to turn our feet red, and when that happens, you're going to hop forward. So you want to make sure you hop in a direction that you want to hop, and hopefully not into other bad stuff. And this can happen with Dark Delusions, which is putting a group of things around you. No, Dark Delusions is your copy. So this one's actually easier to deal with. Dark Delusions is a copy of yourself. So just don't jump into the copy of yourself. You can just slowly kite it around. I just continue running without it. It's not that big of a deal. And the other one that can spawn in this type of zone is called Entomophobia. And that is just you have to jump when the bugs are on you. And you'll see them all over your screen if they're on you. You kind of see how that Scorched Feet work. It just propelled me forward. So there's the copy of myself. Just cannot let that touch you, okay? So you just run away from that. We come up here and turn left first. And then we kill this pull. Now, there is a buff at the top of this. You just go around the mine. I usually don't do it, especially with Scorched Feet active. But you just walk up here, then jump on the railing, go up, and then step on the mine at the top if you want to do it. We can try to do it really quick. We just had the Scorched Feet go off. So we're going to walk over here over the bear's head, turn, up here. I go up this railing, step on this mine. It's not that hard. And then you can just step on a mine to exit. There you go. Now you got a nice little 10% damage buff. So it's a sizable buff. We're going to click on these little bombs as we go. We're going to click that one next. Especially as you get more mass, you're going to want to pop cooldowns on this little mini boss right here. We'll try to let him do some of his stuff. Nope, we just one-shot him. Okay. So the big thing you need to watch out for with him is he's going to jump around. And you just do not let him jump on you. Easier said than done, I guess, but that's what the gist of it there. We'll drink this blue to get some sanity back. This little motorcycle can spawn. There's a motorcycle you can craft. Once you get all the parts and stuff. Mailboxes, you can click mailboxes if you want, especially if you want the mail muncher mount. I already have that, but basically whenever you see a mailbox, just see if you can click on it. And it'll just spawn a little mob. Nothing too terrible. Click this bomb. Then we're going to go through the center here. Make sure you use your horse, use your Blessing of Freedom. You should, if you have that talent on that increases the speed, just to kind of get around a little faster. We're going to kill this bomb, or click that bomb. We're going to turn left into this pole. And then there's a bomb here. Then we're going to go over here, and this pole, I make sure I try to target the side guys first. Don't really have to, I guess, but it's something that I always do. I'll click on this stuff here. Now we can go over and click this little plunger thing in front of the NPC. And that's going to start some RP. While this RP is going on, I come over here and defeat these. And then, you know, what I'm basically doing over here is I'm just kind of looking around to see if there's a blue potion or whatever to give me some more sanity. And then this boss, again, if for all the bosses, it's pretty good to have your bubble up. This one you probably need it the least. But he basically is going to do ground denial with that fire stuff you just saw. And then he's going to do a frontal. And that's this thing right here. And you just don't want to stand in the frontal. And he's going to do more denial. And then the more denial he does, the more difficult it gets. Because, you know, if he gets stuck in it in your melee, it's hard to hit him, of course. So over here, I like to turn right here. We're gonna do the route normally, but then I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a side path to show you how to get one of the masks unlocked. So now we're gonna head here to Old Town, where Matthias Shaw, one of the more annoying bosses in my opinion, especially for melee. Now in here we have different ones. So we have these hunters attack us. So this is split personality. Basically, you don't want to stand in these things. So what it's going to do, it's going to daze me if I stand in it. So you want to go around it. So you need to identify it quickly. And then we also have leaden foot. So while we're in combat, it's going to severely slow us. But Blessing of Freedom does work on this. Bubble works as well. So we're basically going to be, whenever we're in a place with leaden foot, we're going to be strategically using our Blessing of Freedom, not only for speed, but also just to make sure that we are not, you know, moving at 0 speed when we're in the middle of a battle. So for this guy here, wait, we're going to want to get out of that because he's going to start doing this Blade Flourish. I like to hold my cooldowns, especially with masks on, until after the Blade Flourish. He's then going to do a frontal. We can go over there. You can click on this target dummy. I'm not exactly sure what that does, but I usually do it. Get some blue potion here. We're pretty full on sanity, but that's okay. That's going to spawn. Sometimes you can kind of like jump through it depending on how they spawn. Just got to be careful. Got a nice Twilight Dev proc there. Always take those. We got another blue one here. Do not need it yet. Let's do a pull, then maybe we'll come back and drink the blue one. Do this pull. There's gonna be shadow guys here that'll attack you like rogues. Let's gonna come take this blue so we don't have to come back and get it. For normal runs, you don't need to go into this room. You also don't need to go into this hallway. We'll do the hallway last, but we will go in the room just to show you it. We got a 5 pull. This can hit a little bit rough with enough masks on. And then this guy, I like to use my Wake of Ashes / Radiant Glory on as well. He mostly just does a frontal, but he can get a little annoying the longer he lasts as well. That's kind of how most of these guys work. The longer they last, the more annoying they get. A lot of these pulls in here can just, compared to the other zones, in my opinion, a lot of the pulls in here can do a lot of damage. You're not seeing it now with only 1 mask active, but if I had like 4 masks on or something, you'd really see a lot of damage ticking off. This guy here, very good to have your cooldowns for him. So it's very good if your Wake of Ashes is back up, if you had to use it on the Barkeep guy. He is rough. I basically employ a kiting strategy against him for the most part, as much as I can. He does this Corrupted Blight, and then I kind of kite away from him. It's really rough. This is kind of a kite away. Don't kite into the other mobs unless you're strong enough to take them all. And then it's also bad when this pops out while you're trying to kite, right? Because you don't want to hit that daze. When I say it's a really hard mob, what I basically mean in this is they do a lot of sanity damage to you. And by sanity damage, I mean damage that drains your sanity, right? That's the worst thing that can happen, basically. And so any mob that does that a lot is going to be a harder mob. So after that is when I come in here to do this hallway. We're going to wait for these to spawn. Looks like we had a little path we can walk through there. Nice little spawn of those. Get out of the Dark Smash. Alright, so again, that's optional, but that's just what I do when I do that. Then I'll come up here, and we're going to do this pull. Again, this is a pull that can hit a little bit hard. Alright, then your NPC is going to run over to one of these pillars. You just go to the other one, and then you click them. If you're in a group, you can do that as a group, but if you're by yourself, that's how you do it. So now we're going to have Shaw. So this is a good one to have bubble active in case things just go terrible for you. So here's Shaw. You want to try to... A lot of times I like to hold my cooldowns there for that reason right there. We're going to dodge while this is happening. And we also don't want to look at those Eye of Chaoses. They're going to... So see how I was able to kind of get them to be behind me? If I look at them, I'm going to lose sanity, which is not good. But if things go terribly, you could just bubble here as well. So another one spawn. We're going to tank a little damage if we have to. He's despawned somehow with like 0 health. There we go. Took a little sanity damage there. No big deal. And now we're going to portal. It's not going to be super valuable to do this because I need to show you that. But I just want to stay on the route. I need to show you the Vengeance Mask, which was really close to where we just were. But this is just the normal route. So when I come over here, a lot of times I'll pull this into this group here. And we are going to have to use an orb soon, as we are getting low on sanity. Then we're going to turn right. I don't know exactly what this rat does, but you can kill that rat and then the cat eats it. Now, we're going to go through this tunnel right here, but I just want to show you the Vengeance Mask first. We got to be careful because the little... For the most part, it takes a separate guide to teach you how to do this. You want to just ignore this Craggle Wobbletop guy. He is hard. Not hard, but you have to know what to do. So we're going to ignore him for now. I hope he didn't aggro onto me. Oh, he did. Oh, that's probably not good. We'll see what happens. But over here in the corner, this is the guys you need to kill for your Vengeance Mask. So it's a kind of a big pull here. And then you'll be able to loot your mask. So you probably want to have some personals or whatever else for this. Not an easy pull at all. Got feared even. So imagine this with all your masks on, right? It's going to be a hard pull. And then this mask will be like right here. You might even have to click on it. Can't remember. Those guys de-aggroed from me at least. Let's see if they get out of my way. We'll go ahead and use an orb here while we wait for that gnome to pad away. Basically, you have to like CC all the stuff and like try to kill it one by one because he has this... Reduces all damage incoming by 90% as long as the shield bot's nearby. So you just need to CC stuff, basically. Is the... You know, you might want to have Repentance active, for example. But normally you don't even need to come over this way. And like I said, we're just going to go... Oh, all those darn rats are still there. We're going to go through the way that we would normally go through instead. We'll kill all these rats first so they leave us alone. So we're going to come through this tunnel. So we took a little thing there for the vengeance, but you could get that later. I just wanted to show you where it was at. I'm going to come over here to this one. Again, for our affixes, we have the Scorched Feet, Dark Delusions again. So that's going to be the same as the other ones. We've already gone through all the affixes now. We're going to head down here. You can use your movement speed when needed. This guy here, this Twisted Appendage. Shadow Caller. Now we want to make sure that we have bubble up for this one, especially on higher mass, okay? So get out of the Brutal Smash. We also want to have cooldowns up too. So if you don't have cooldowns or bubble up, but they will be up soon, then go ahead and do something else while we go fight this. And I'll show you why. I'll try not to kill it too fast. So there's Agonizing Torrent. We want to interrupt that because it does sanity damage. And here comes another one we don't have an interrupt, but we can do is we can bubble it though. And so it becomes a bit of a rough thing. The longer that fight goes, you're not going to have stuff to stop it. So that's why I advise using. Otherwise, you're just going to have to tank some sanity damage. It's not the biggest deal in the world, if you don't, presuming you had sanity going into it. But it is one of the rougher little areas there. Anything that does sanity damage, those are going to be the things that are going to cause you the most trouble. We're going to go over here to these Tormentors. These guys are going to go underground on us. We're going to wait for them to pop up. This guy is also annoying when it's higher level. We'll show you a little bit what he does. This one you don't need to have your bubble active. So let's not kill him immediately. Chains of Servitude. So we're silenced during this. And this little tentacle is going to pop out. We need to dodge out of that. He's going to do it again at a certain health. So he's going to do it again right here. We need to kite. Obviously still do damage. I'm just trying to show you what he does. Still do damage until you can't do damage. Normally. And then finish him off. You might have to go through that multiple times. And it can be annoying. We're then going to go through and free these prisoners in this exact order every time. We're going to go 3. 4 and 5 are here. Oops. Jetted me over. 4. 5, 6, and 7's going to be over here. And now we're going to mount up. So we used all of our movement speed basically. Now we're going to mount up and head back. That was a little bit of back walking we had to do, but that's okay. And then we have a couple more mobs here to pull. This guy's not too bad. There's the final one we need to do. Now, in here can be a mob that gives you a buff. So if that's open, you can go in and kill that mob. If not, it's this one outside. And again, check mailboxes and stuff like that. There's a mailbox here. If you need the Mail Muncher mount. Other than that, you do not need it for like the Multitudes Mask where you have to kill all the enemies. You do not have to do the mailboxes. I did not do it when I did mine. I think it, like I said, I think it might just be a count thing. The other one will be down here, so if you like getting all the buffs or whatever, or you're trying to do the multitudes, if the bank isn't open, then it's going to be this little wine shot outside of Trade District there. We're going to head over here, and then as we get to the Mage Quarter from this exact route, on this wall it says Wanted Hogger. So when you click it, well, here comes, well, maybe he doesn't spawn if you've already killed him. Okay. So I've already killed him, so apparently he doesn't spawn anymore. But if you click that sign, Hogger will come, and then you kill him and loot his body. Alright, so let's open up this one. This one is going to be Leadfoot again, where we get slowed. And this one keeps having stuff spawn in here and keeping you in combat. So we're just going to be tactically using our Blessing of Freedom throughout specific points. Basically, as we're about to like fight more mobs and stuff, we're just going to have to keep using our Blessing of Freedom. This is a good place to use some cooldowns on this double pull here. This double, whatever they're called, tentacle pull. We're then going to turn right and go up here after the tentacle pull. We're going to continue to go up. That takes you nowhere. We're going to take the left down here. I like to kill the portal keeper first. He has less health. And then I focus on this guy and can use interrupts or whatever I need to on him. Alright, now we're going to head back up. This guy's very annoying. No, you don't necessarily need bubble for him, but you do probably want to have cooldowns up for him. You can tank the Shadow Bolt to avoid his more annoying cast, which is Rain of Fire, which is arrow denial. That's going to be a lot more difficult. Got disoriented there. We'll have to use our final orb here soon. You won't need to use your orbs as often as me because you're not going to be showing people stuff and taking a long way and stuff like that. So we'll spawn our last sanity orb here. Should be fine. We're in the last room. If I had the unlocks unlocked, this would be a lot easier to do the video. But because of the time gating, that's just not possible. I still wanted to get this video out anyways. We'll do this 2-pull over here. There's still 1 portal after this. Try to dodge the ground. So it's hard to see sometimes, but there's stuff all over the ground in here. Alright, we got that spawn. For this little mini boss here, I highly recommend having bubble up and using it, especially on the higher difficulties. Basically, there's just a million things to dodge. It's just constant dodging. And so when stuff gets crazy, especially if you have that, so this frontal here is really big. If you have this thing spawning right here, while that's happening, I recommend just using bubble and just dealing with it that way. I highly recommend that. For our final one, we're going to go through this thing, Anag Zizi Thiz. It's an old god or whatever. It's going to take us over here to our final portal master in this case. And we're going to take him out, and now Magister Umbric's going to talk to us. We're going to go right back where we came from, through here. Now this is actually about the time when I normally need to use an orb. So when you want to use this orb just make sure it's a long run up here, and we want to actually save our movement speed for this boss. Okay, this is going to spawn. This is going to be annoying. Okay, it's right in my way, so I'm just going to walk into it. And then we want movement speed for this boss, so try not to use it all, especially our Blessing of Freedom if we have Leaden Foot active. So a lot of times I use it right here before I pull the boss. And we're going to let this boss last. I can't let it last too long because we're running out of sanity. But we'll let this go first, and then we're going to go in here. And basically, he's he's just like that one guy where we have the interrupt problem, where he has more casts than what we have interrupts. So the missiles are just going to drain your sanity. Now we're going to be in this storm. So Blessing of Freedom is really good here. For this first one, we don't really need it because we start kind of close. We're just going to have to walk really slowly. We're going to wait until we get close to him until this thing pops off. I don't want to... Oh, I'm getting hit by that. That's not good. He's going to polymorph me now. So I'm going to bubble here to get out of it. This is actually good to be able to show you this, though. He's going to teleport again. And now at least I have Blessing of Freedom. I have Interrupt ready. And I can just scoot over here really quickly, interrupt the missiles, and there we go. And he's going to do that every time. He's going to port to one side, he's going to port to the other side. And he has more casts than you have interrupts for. The missiles drain your sanity. The polymorph just polymorphs you, which can be bad if he goes immediately into a missiles after that. So now we're in here. We've already cleared everything. And now we got the final boss. And this final boss is extremely melee and friendly. We no longer have bubble up. If you can avoid using it on Umbric, I suggest not using it on Umbric because it just makes this fight easier. You don't need it for this fight, but it just makes it easier. You can see Illyria now has all the buffs from the other bosses. So she has this Eye of Chaos from Shaw that we did earlier. We're going to start with an opener. When Darkened Sky comes out, we're going to try to bait it away. Go back to where the eye is not hitting us. Ordnance is coming out. She's going to polymorph us here. Not much we can do about it because you can't LOS it. We're going to get out of that. Now Void Eruption is going to happen. I got hit by one apparently. So I'm going to LOS behind this pillar. I got the... Now we got Chains of Servitude coming out. So this would be a great time to bubble right here. We are running low on time, so... We are hoping So another Darkened Sky, we're going to bait it. Another Ordnance. Can't get hit by that. We got the Interrupt off there at least. Another Void Eruption. Oh, that thing teleported behind us, which is good. We're going to bait this Darkened Sky way over here. And then we're going to go in and finish her off here, hopefully. Another Ordnance. And there we go. So you can see that fight is a little bit difficult, even with all my gear and everything. There's a lot of denial. It's just kind of difficult for melee. Of course, if you have a bubble ready, it makes it a lot easier because you can just bubble through any one of those mechanics you want when you have your cooldowns running and just at least for 8 seconds, just straight hit the boss. You're then going to loot this stuff. You're going to get your masks if you unlocked any masks when you did it. And then when you come in the next time is when you'll turn those in. So that's my basic route. That's basically how I do it. Obviously, I did it a little bit slower. I intentionally was letting mechanics go off that maybe I wouldn't let go off normally, which makes it much harder. But that's my general route and generally how I do it. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them for you. Obviously, not everybody's going to be super geared like I am when you're doing it. So, you know, those mechanics are going to go off and you're going to have ways to deal with them. And the truth is, you might not, depending on your gear level, you might not be able to do multiple masks. You might not be able to do one mask. And that's just a reality. As you get the upgrade tree, I believe probably pretty much any player, once the upgrade tree is full, you can at least start to do some of the masks. I think maybe the 5 mask achievement might be a little bit difficult for the very casual player. But I think for the most part, you know, most players, or not most, but a good portion of players can do it once the upgrade tree is unlocked. It's just not unlocked yet. You just have the first few talents and that's it. And it just makes it a little bit harder. Then you can have those tribute chests unlocked as well. So like I said, if you have any questions, I will try to help you out. Yeah, as always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I can encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.